I'm the CEO of RealtyeVest. And we have an online real estate investment platform that we started about 3 years ago here in Jacksonville, Florida. We basically curate investment opportunities on behalf of third-party sponsors. What that means is we apply our internal due diligence to not only the sponsors, but also the real estate in the community. And when all of the planets align and the investment looks like it's a great opportunity for our investment community, then and only then do we post it on our site. Let me tell you a little bit about Camden Crossing, which is why we're here today and why we really like this deal. As we all know, it's all about location, sponsors, and the community. Lee Arsenault and John Latshaw are what we call institutional quality sponsors. Lee is the current president of the Northeastern Builders Association and the past president or past recipient of the Florida Builder of the Year. And John Latshaw is a very high-profile, well-established tax attorney here in Jacksonville and Ponte Vedra, and has a lot of multifamily development and acquisitions under his belt he's done over the last few years. As I told you, this is all about location, location, location. And Jacksonville has really grown in its stature, having the ability to generate interesting and wonderful prospective tenants for our market. The most recent one is the Amazon Fulfillment Center, which is right around 1 million square feet. It's 5 minutes away, and it's going to be employing nearly 1,500 employees. Jacksonville Airport, which has thousands of employees, is under 5 minutes away. The other major employees in the same community is Pepsi, Bacardi, Swisher International, which, by the way, is the largest cigar factory in the world, and Budweiser. Interesting enough, currently there's very limited new construction for multifamily. Some of the prohibitions on new construction has been obviously the cost of land and entitlements, rezoning, permitting, etc. So thankfully, Camden Crossing has secured the land, has got all the zoning and permitting, and it's ready, and it's shovel ready. And last but not least, which is really fascinating, is that Forbes loves Jacksonville. They've rated it number 2 as the best market in the housing investment, number 3 for wage growth, top 10 cities for finding employment, and one of the fastest growing cities in America. A little bit about RealtyeVest and our platform and how you can actually get involved with investing in Camden Crossing. We're all about crowdfunding, which is basically grouping of investors pooling their money together to invest in a single or multiple group of real estate opportunities. As you can see here in this cute little illustration, individual investors can invest in a myriad of different types of properties. You can invest in multifamily, commercial, residential, assisted living, affordable housing, what have you. And each individual investor can invest in more than one asset. It's basically investing shoulder to shoulder with similar investors as yourself. Now, you might find an office building in Texas, as an example, San Antonio, Texas, that you're interested in investing. But you'll be investing with other people. Might be investing with someone from San Francisco, Portland, Oregon, Minnesota. One second. We just lost you there. There you go. New York. Of course, it died just before New York, but last but not least, Jacksonville, Florida. Now, interesting enough, you see a picture of me there. Why am I on there? RealtyeVest invests in every single deal on its platform. It lends credibility, obviously, to the sponsors in the deal, but more importantly, it lends credibility to the fact that we've drilled down on all the moving parts, the sponsor, the community, etc. So we're willing to put our money where our mouth is, hence the opportunity to invest in our own deals. One second. Got it. Okay. Why invest with RealtyeVest? Today's technology, as illustrated on our site, allows you to sit at your kitchen table and browse investment opportunities at your leisure on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon. You no longer have to go meet with your attorney or CPA or drive downtown or to Riverside or what have you. You can drill down on all the moving parts for each real estate investment opportunity, review the documents, pro formas, projections, assumptions, photos, floor plans, etc., bios from the leisure of your kitchen table. Mitigation of risk. You now can invest shoulder to shoulder with other investors. Equally as important, you're not having to put that $25,000 or $50,000 into a singular deal as you had to previously. You can take that $25,000 and invest in 5 different deals or 3 different deals. So you're basically spreading your risk over a series of investment opportunities. No additional investor costs, much unlike a lot of the old syndication days or investing through Merrill Lynch or through Charles Schwab. We have no asset management fees. We have no hidden fees that are passed through to the investors. All of the expenses are borne individually by the sponsors themselves. So what you see is what you get, no additional hidden fees. Lower minimum investments. As opposed to the old days, you had to invest a minimum of $25,000, $50,000, or even $100,000. With our website and our technology, you can invest with as little as $5,000. And if you had $50,000, you could spread it over 10 deals if you like. Personalize your portfolio. That's pretty neat. If you like affordable housing, or if you like assisted living, or if you like multifamily, you can invest in all 3. You can invest in a debt vehicle, you can invest in an equity vehicle, you can invest in short-term, long-term, however you wanted to put your Golden Corral buffet together, you can go ahead and personalize it for your own taste and your own risk aversion. That's a key element. So at this juncture, what I'd like to do, and hopefully I've given you a little bit of information about RealtyeVest and how easy it is to invest in our site. All of the information is on our site. You can go to Camden Crossing on RealtyeVest.com. You can see information on the sponsors, on the opportunity itself, the projections, the documentation, biographies, etc. So it's all there to make a very prudent decision. So let me turn this over to Lee and John, and I'll let them pick up from there.
Good afternoon. My name is Lee Arsenault, and I'm the co-founder of New Leaf Communities with John Latshaw. I'm also the president and qualifying agent of New Leaf Construction, formed in 2009. And we, as Dan suggested, I'm serving as the 2017 president of the Northeast Florida Builders Association, and was also received the 2016 Builder of the Year award from the Florida Home Builders last year. I've got 40 years of residential, commercial, and government construction experience, and I've also completed construction projects with a combined value of $1.2 billion, including a variety of great communities, Greenbrier Plantation, Eagle Landing, St. John's Golf and Country Club, and Jacksonville Golf and Country Club. My partner in New Leaf Communities is John Latshaw, and John can tell us a little bit about himself.
Hello, everyone. As Lee said, I am a co-founder of New Leaf Communities. I have been a real estate owner, developer for many years. I am a real estate, land use, and tax attorney. I have a master's in tax law from Boston University Law School, and started in this business as a tax shelter lawyer that led me into the syndication of apartment houses in the early 1980s. With a law school colleague at that time, we, in a period of 3 years, acquired, operated, and sold almost 1,200 apartment units, primarily in New Hampshire and Maine. I am a licensed real estate broker. I handle the real estate operation for New Leaf Real Estate. I also own Historic Coast Real Estate, in which I'm a development consultant for third parties. And in the mid-2000s, formed a company with a mutual friend called Urban Dynamics for the purpose of developing apartment units in Metro Jacksonville. And we did, in fact, develop over 480 apartment units, of which we built and constructed and operated 244 apartment units.
So this project is Camden Crossing, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. I might toggle back and forth between this image and the next slide. So again, it's located just 2 miles away from the River City Marketplace, a little further away to Jacksonville Airport. You'll see that a little bit more about that. And then again, the Amazon distribution center, this new fulfillment center is brand new, 1 million square feet, located very close to the airport. The property size is 6.15 acres, located on New Berlin Road near Main Street or US 17. There's a total of 6 buildings. We'll get back over here. You can see the 6 buildings, a combination of 4, 6, and 7 units to a building. They look like a townhome, and they with a 1-car garage downstairs, and the bedrooms, 3 bedrooms up. The little floor plan on the right, you'll see the downstairs with the garage and stairs, a little kitchen and family room, a little back patio where the residents can enjoy a little grilling out back. And then upstairs, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, a laundry room. Another thing that's noteworthy about these buildings is they'll be constructed using SCIP, which is structural concrete insulated panels. That is it's a technology that's was developed in Europe back probably 40 years ago. It's been used a lot down in the Caribbean. It is an expanded polystyrene foam core with wire, and then it's got concrete that's shot onto it like a shotcrete application. And the perimeter of the building, the structure will be built from that. The firewalls between the units are built out of that material, and also the intermediate floor, the 2nd floor, is built out of this. So we get a very strong structure that ends up monolithic. It helps us with sound reduction between the units, between the floors. It's tremendously effective. That way it keeps out bugs. Water doesn't like it. Fire doesn't like it. So it's a superior material, and also it's terrific for low maintenance costs. And then as you see, these units are all 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths with this 1-car garage. The site plan also allows for a little driveway, so another car that can nestle in to near the garage door, along with some off-street parking near the front of the community. The rest of it, there's a couple of parks. They don't really not defined here, but there's little areas that are common areas, and then we would anticipate a way for the homeowners with pets to be able to walk their dogs and so forth. The common areas, throw the frisbee kind of stuff, baseball, football, just enjoy those areas as a family. All right, let's see what's next here. Again, the location is very, very good. It's centrally located in the part of the very fast-growing area of Jacksonville, and where there's just a lot going on right now. The River City Marketplace is a terrific outdoor mall, and again, the Amazon fulfillment center is right around the corner, employing a lot. Jackson International Airport also employs a lot of folks. Also nearby is something that we didn't point out to you, but I think it may be on this next slide. Actually, it's off the slide. A little bit to the southeast of this project is Blount Island, another large industrial complex with the port that is another big employment center. John, what do you tell us about the market?
Well, I've been asked to say a few things about the Jacksonville market, and over the 30 years or so that I've been here from Boston, I've seen the Jacksonville market good at times, but I have never seen it as vibrant and strong as it currently is. Institutional funds and major corporations are coming into Jacksonville at a never before seen rate. And a few facts I think that you might find interesting if you don't know very much about the current Jacksonville market would be that the Jacksonville metro area is one of the 50 largest economies in the United States, according to Realtor.com. We have a tremendous amount of private sector growth generating a high demand for housing. In all of the submarkets of Jacksonville, demand for rental housing exceeds supply. The Jackson metro area total population is about 850,000, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, and the overall SMSA is approximately 1.5 million people. More than 15% of the population in Jacksonville is connected to the Navy and other military operations. Naval civilian job growth is around 17,000 jobs per year. And now we'll go back to Forbes for a minute. Forbes has attributed a couple of interesting ratings to Jacksonville. According to the well-renowned business magazine, Jacksonville is #2 for housing investment, #2 place where people are moving to, #3 in wage growth, the #3 fastest growing city in the United States of America, and one of the top 10 employment cities. This Camden Crossing project is located in the Northside Submarket of downtown Jacksonville, also known as Ocean Way. We've talked a little bit about some of the businesses and the employment located in that area, but I'll reiterate some of the information. The biggest talk in town is the new Amazon Fulfillment Center. Amazon actually will have 4 substantial distribution centers in Jacksonville complete and in operation in the next year, but by far the largest of which is the one that's approximately a mile from the Camden Crossing project. There'll be between 1,500 and 2,000 new jobs at that center, and the local Jacksonville Transportation Authority has already initiated public transportation to that facility for new employees. Not far from the project, there are several key business parks known as North Point, Imeson International, and Jacksport, which is the Blount Island facility Lee referred to before, which among other things is the largest importer of automobiles in the United States of America. Other major corporations located in the submarket: Pepsi-Cola, Bacardi, Swisher International, as Dan said, the largest cigar factory in the world, Budweiser Beer, and Shell Gas and Power. There is limited construction for apartments and multifamily projects. There's a scarcity of land. There are limited designations and zoning allowances, particularly in the north side, where there is almost no land at all designated for multifamily residential. Most of that land is attributed to single-family residential developments and households.
So the investment summary is basically as follows. This is, we formed a Camden Crossing LLC, was a form to acquire, entitle, develop, construct, own, and operate this residential rental community. RealtyeVest has exclusive rights from New Leaf Communities to offer the investment opportunity. As you see, it is a debt structure of type of instrument. With 18 months is the term with a 6-month optional extension. The investment amount is $4.15 million. The LTV is 70% of stabilized value. The annualized interest rate is 10%. The stabilized value is anticipated to be just shy of $6 million. Project funding. John, do you want to run through this?
Certainly. The asset allocation in this particular project is a debt financing. The total loan amount is $4,150,000. That debt will be raised in 3 $1 million tranches and one final $1,150,000 tranche. The funds will be released in accordance with a pre-approved construction draw schedule that will be approved by RealtyeVest and their construction inspectors. The money will be released only against assets acquired, rights obtained, and construction work done and approved by their inspectors and also the City of Jacksonville inspectors. There will be one master mortgage on the property in the amount of $4,150,000 that will occupy first lien position. A couple of highlights of the project finances: the land acquisition cost is $350,000, which is approximately $10,000 a door, which is right in line with the historical average for acquiring multifamily land. Total construction cost for vertical construction is $3,472,500. The holding cost is $363,333. The loan duration is expected to be 24 months. The project timetable. We are almost at the full end of the entitlement process. We have planning department approval, planning commission approval, city council first round of approval. The final vote will actually take place on September 12th, but the council supports this project, and we have no public opposition and no reason to believe that as of September 12th, this land will be fully entitled for residential multifamily units in the amount of 35 units. The land purchase must occur on or before September 28, 2017, pursuant to our purchase and sale agreement with Whitney Bank. This is real estate owned, left over from the previous real estate depression, and we were able to acquire it on pretty favorable terms. After September 28, the civil engineering plans will be complete, as will the balance of the environmental permitting, and site construction will commence in December of 2017. That should be about a 4-month process, with vertical construction beginning in April of 2018. We look to have the first building completed and prepared for occupancy in about July of 2018. We will move renters in as each building is completed and receives its certificate of occupancy. We expect all construction to be complete and the property to be virtually leased up and full property operation and stabilization by the end of 2018 and early 2019. Principal repayment strategy. The annual interest payments will be made to investors for the length of the loan. The minimum investment is $25,000. That $25,000 will yield a quarterly term payment of $625 and total term payments of $3,750. The exit strategy and the repayment mechanism is a small business or small balance loan from Freddie Mac. Freddie Mac has instituted a special small balance loan for secondary and tertiary cities and communities, which is implemented at the time of property stabilization, which is generally 18 to 24 months from commencement of the project. The anticipated amount of that loan would be $4,736,864, which is 80% of loan to value. That is more than enough to repay the entire first mortgage debt. The repayment period after that for us would be a 10-year fixed rate loan with 30-year amortization. There will be a new first mortgage on the property after the first mortgage through RealtyeVest is paid and released, and the Freddie Mac small balance loan is a non-recourse loan secured with a first mortgage on the property.
So we have arrived at a point where if you have questions, we are going to be looking at fielding those to the best of our ability.
One quick note is that the balance of the analysis and projections, et cetera, can be found on our site, RealtyeVest.com. There is a very in-depth pro forma and a list of assumptions along with construction costs, et cetera. This webinar would have taken 2 hours to get that deep into the details, but we wanted to give you a 50,000-foot view of the sponsors, obviously, and of course, some of the intricacies of the market, and touch on the actual construction also. One of the highlights that Lee pointed out is the actual construction, and in fact, using this vehicle in which to construct this property, it's going to generate a lot less in operating costs and construction costs, and kick up the construction time frame by a number of months. So it's a cutting-edge technology that Lee has and John have experience with and will be utilizing in the future. So if we have any questions, are there any questions right now? So we must have covered all the bases, so we don't have any questions right now. Feel free to go to our site or email me, dsummers@realtyevest.com, or give me a call at 904-501-7693. Or go to our site, RealtyeVest.com, and take a look at our deal. And don't hesitate or be shy about reaching out to us. Once again, thank you for your participation, and we look forward to our next webinar, which will be next Tuesday on a residential assisted living house in Chicago, Illinois. Thank you.